咁今次咧，我係完全冇準備之下咧，即刻埋位咧就撳一撳呢一個 mod test 嘅 C 去試一試啦。咁講多無謂，咁我哋即刻開始啦。好，準備開始 speaking and writing。咁我哋一開始咧就係 read aloud 先嘅。The main difference on this occasion was that the colonists were not just fighting against the king, who was determined to use his own prerogative. They were also fighting against a parliament in which believed that it alone should raise taxes and control revenues, rights of which had been won in the previous century. 我哋要讀出嚟下啲聲，我哋 rehearsal 嗰陣時。The main difference on this occasion was that the colonists were not just fighting against the king, who was determined to use his own prerogative. They were also fighting against a parliament which believed that it alone should raise taxes. The main difference on this occasion was that the colonists were not just fighting against the king, who was determined to use his own prerogative. They were also fighting against a parliament which we believed that it alone should raise taxes and control revenues, rights which had been won in the previous century. 咁就要即刻撳下一條啦。A scientist's evidence is thought to be reliable because it will have been tested and is verified at every stage. It is not, of course, infallible, as scientists are subject to human error as much as the rest of us. A scientist's evidence is thought to be reliable because it will have been tested and verified at every stage. It is not, of course, infallible, as scientists are subject to human error as much as the rest of us. A scientist's evidence is thought to be reliable because it will have been tested and verified at every stage. It is not, of course, infallible, as scientists are subject to human error as much as the rest of us. The most obvious change is that 46% of the college undergraduates are now women. When I went there, it was only the third year that women have been admitted, and about 70% of students were male. The most obvious change is that 46% of college undergraduates are now women. When I went there, it was only the third year that women had been admitted, and about 70% of students were male. The most obvious change is that 46% of college undergraduates are now women. When I went there, was only the third year that women had been admitted, and about 70% of students were male. As we progress into the 21st century, communications are becoming faster and faster. Think of the millions of different media images you are bombarded with every day. It's as important now to be able to read and make sense of the images as it has been to be able to read ordinary text. As we progress into the 21st century, communications are becoming faster and faster, faster and faster, faster and faster. As we progress into the 21st century, communications are becoming faster and faster. Think of the millions of different media images you are bombarded with every day. It's as important now to be able to read and make sense of the images as it has been to be able to read ordinary text. In the past, wars have led to inflation and higher commodity prices. Fighting disrupts trade and prevents raw materials from being shipped from one country to another. In Second World War Britain, a banana was the height of luxury. A banana was the height of luxury. The height of luxury. From one country to another. From being shipped from one country to another. Being shipped from one country to another. In the past, wars have led to inflation and higher commodity prices. Fighting disrupts trade and prevents raw materials from being shipped from one country to another. In Second World War Britain, a banana was the height of luxury. 咁應該咧好快咧，我哋就會去到呢個 repeat sentence 啦。Globalization refers to a set of changes rather than a single change. Many of these changes are social, cultural, and political rather than purely economic, and one of the main drivers in addition to the global marketplace is the communication revolution. Globalization refers to a set of changes rather than a single change. many single change. Many of these changes are social, cultural, and political rather than purely economic. One of the main drivers. Globalization refers to a set of changes rather than a single change. Many of these changes are social, cultural, and political rather than purely economic, and one of the main drivers in addition to the global marketplace is the communication revolution.
An understanding of mathematics is vital for most science subjects.
Understanding mathematics is vital to the most of science subjects.
If we work on this together, we'll get through it quickly.
If we work on this together, we can get through it quickly.
The new law professor used to work for the World Bank.
The new law professor used to work in the World Bank.
Many environment experts are very concerned about the future of our planet.
Many environmental experts are very concerned about the future of our planet.
The graph shows the percentage of people who smoke according to gender.
The graph shows the percentage of people who smoke according to the gender.
The meeting is always on the third Wednesday of the month.
The meeting was always on the third Wednesday of the month.
We can go anywhere, do anything, achieve any height.
We can go anywhere, do anything, achieve any height.
Construction of the Empire State Building in New York was completed in 1931.
The construction of the Empire State Building was completed in 1931.
People under 70 have a higher quality of life than those over 70.
People under 70 have a higher quality of life compared to those under 70.
The area of Canada is more than 3.8 million square miles.
The area of Canada is more than 3.8 million square miles. It is a line graph showing road traffic, Britain, billion vehicle kilometers, 1952, 1960, 1968, all motor vehicles, maximum 2005, 500. Minimum cars and taxi, 1952, near zero. 1976, 1982, 1984, 1968. It is a line graph showing the road traffic in Great Britain. According to this line graph, we are seeing several things to compare, including billion vehicle kilometers as well as 100 and 200. According to this line graph, we are seeing the maximum point is all motor vehicles in 2005, which is 500. On the other hand, we are seeing the minimum point is cars and taxis in 1952, which is nearly zero. In addition, we can also see 1968 and 1976, as well as 1984 and 1960. In conclusion, it is a line graph showing the road traffic in Great Britain. It is a line graph showing the Economic and Social Research Council UK unemployment rate 1971-2006 percentage Economic and Social Research Council. Maximum 1985 12. Minimum is 1975 4. 1997 1999 1975 4. Maximum 1985 12. It is a line graph showing the figure 1 UK unemployment rate in 1971 to 2006. According to this line graph, we are seeing several things to compare, including the percentage and economic as well as the Social Research Council. According to this line graph, we are seeing the maximum point is 1985, which is 12. On the other hand, we are seeing the minimum point is 1975, which is around 4. In addition, we can also see 1987 and 1991, as well as 2001 and 2003. In conclusion, it is a line graph showing the figure 1 UK unemployment rate in 1971 to 2006. It is a bar chart showing the sales by quarter. According to this bar chart, we are seeing several things to compare. Value, year 2004, product Z, product Y, and product X. 3,000 maximum, 12,000, quarter 1, 12,000 product X, minimum product Y in quarter 4, 3,000. It is a bar chart showing the sales by quarter. According to this bar chart, we are seeing several things to compare, including the value and year 2004, as well as products and X and Y. According to this bar chart, we are seeing the maximum point is 12,000, which is product C in quarter 1. On the other hand, we are seeing the minimum point is product X in 3,000, which is only quarter 4. In addition, we can also see green and blue, as well as 9,000 and 15,000. In conclusion, it is a bar chart showing the sales by quarter. It is a line graph showing the life expectancy at birth in Australia. Years, males, females, 1995, 1997, 1999, maximum females, 2005, 1985, minimum 1995, males 75, 80, 70, 80, 70. It is a line graph showing the life expectancy at birth in Australia. According to this line graph, we are seeing several things to compare, including males and females, as well as years and 1999. According to this line graph, we are seeing the maximum point is 2005 for females, which is 85. On the other hand, we are seeing the minimum point is 1995 for males, which is only 75. In addition, we can also see 80 and 70, as well as 1997 and 1999. In conclusion, it is a line graph showing the life expectancy at birth in Australia. Bar chart, adult literacy by region. Literacy rates, sex, 2000-2004, percent, Sub-Saharan Africa, 53. Maximum age, Latin America and the Caribbean for male, 91. Minimum, 53. It is a bar chart showing the adult literacy by region. According to this bar chart, we are seeing several things to compare, including the literacy rates, as well as sex, as well as the 2000 to 2004. According to this bar chart, we are seeing the maximum point is 91 for male in Latin America and the Caribbean, which is 91. On the other hand, we are seeing the minimum point is female in Sub-Saharan Africa, which is only 33. In addition, we can also see the world and Asia, as well as Arab states, and 77. In conclusion, it is a bar chart showing the adult literacy by region. It is a bar chart, line graph, maximum consumer price index, GDP, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, maximum 2004, 120, minimum point is 2,100, 160, 140, orange and blue. It is a bar chart showing the economic conditions in the Philippines from 2000 to 2004. According to this bar chart, we are seeing several things to compare, including the consumer price index and GDP, as well as 2001 and 2002. According to this bar chart, we are seeing the maximum point is 140, which is in 2004. On the other hand, we are seeing the minimum point is 2000, which is only 100. In addition, we can also see blue and green, as well as the orange and 80. In conclusion, it is a bar chart showing the economic conditions in the Philippines from 2000 to 2004.
Take the coffee industry. The figures are roughly these. The coffee market in the world is worth about 60 billion. The growers get about 5.5 billion. 10 years ago, the market was about 30 billion, and the growers got a third of that. What has happened? What has happened is that well-meaning people Americans, Germans, Europeans decided that they would help Vietnam. And so they created a coffee industry there, which is now the second biggest producer in the world. This has had serious effects on other countries like Colombia that depend on coffee exports.
The speaker provides useful information regarding the topic of coffee industry. According to this picture, we are seeing several things to compare, including 60 billion and 5.5 billion. And the speaker talks about 10 years ago and 30 billion, as well as happened and people. Furthermore, the speaker also talked about the American and European, as well as Colombia and Vietnam. Furthermore, she also talked about the second biggest producer and Colombia, as well as the export. In conclusion, the speaker provides useful information regarding the topic of coffee industry.
You can see that the two charts each give quite a different picture of the performance of boys and girls in the two key subjects of maths and English. It shows that in English, girls consistently outperform boys over a period of 6 years, achieving scores about 10% above their male peers. There is quite a different picture when we look at the maths results, with no real difference between genders in the results. What is the explanation for these key differences? To answer this question, researchers look at biological and cognitive factors and a range of social factors. The interaction between these different components in early childhood development are seen as maintained and reinforced in the school context, and this leads to distinct gender patterns of behavior in skills with direct consequences for school performance and achievement. The argument uses this evidence to show that biological factors, such as patterns of cognitive development, are closely linked to social factors, such as learned gender categories. These cognitive skills are learned both preschool and subsequently at school, supported by the responses of teachers, creating a reinforcement of patterns.
The speaker provides useful information regarding the topic of two charts. The speaker provides useful information regarding the topic of two charts. According to this speaker, the speaker talks about different picture and boys and girls, as well as the mathematics and English. Furthermore, he also talks about the 6 years and 10%, as well as the male peers and different perspective. Furthermore, he also talks about the no real difference in gender, as well as the explanation and preschool. Furthermore, he also talks about the researchers and biological, as well as social and cognitive factors. In addition, he also talks about the behavior, skills, and the achievement. In conclusion, it is a lecture.
In our survey, over 100 CEOs who had recently been through an acquisition or merger were asked which areas of their activities needed the most effort. As you can see, the most frequent response to this question was that information technology requires the most integration effort. According to 58% of those we surveyed, IT was the most time-consuming and needed the most work. This is understandable, as many of the IT issues are extremely complex, and the consequences of any change in IT can have a significant impact. The key is how quickly and effectively IT integration can be achieved, and there has to be a clear understanding of the consequences there may be of not getting it right. The two other areas requiring significant attention, sales, marketing and business development on the one hand, and financial management on the other, both were selected by 49% of the respondents.
The speaker provides useful information according to the topic of survey. The speaker provides useful information regarding the topic of survey. According to this speaker, the speaker talks about the 100 CEOs and acquisitions and mergers. Furthermore, he also talks about the most effort and information technology as well as the integration effort and 58%. Furthermore, he also talks about the time-consuming and extremely complex as well as the consequences and impact. In addition, he also talks about the clear understanding and not getting it right, as well as the sales and marketing. In addition, he also talks about the business development and financial management. In conclusion, it is a lecture about the information technology.
Which country has the third largest population in the UK?
Wales.
Camels are most likely to be found in what habitat?
Desert.
On a compass, which direction is the direct opposite of southwest?
Northeast.
What do most successful businesses aim to do? Make a profit, declare bankruptcy, or comply with audits?
Make a profit.
What is it called when the price of goods and services steadily increases over a period of time?
Inflation.
What mistake has the student made when trying to access the site?
Invalid password.
Algebra, calculus, and trigonometry are divisions of which academic field?
Mathematics.
What campus building would you go to if you wanted to borrow a book or magazine?
Library.
Is a profit a loss in funds or a gain in funds?
A gain in funds.
What energy source does this light bulb need in order to function?
Electricity. 好，咁我哋而家就做完呢個speaking 啦。咁而家咧，我哋就會見到一個係summary written test 啦。咁跟住之後咧，就會係一個write essay 嘅。咁我今次都會 skip 咗佢。咁我哋淨係睇呢一個speaking 嘅分數咯。咁你會見到我頭先咧，都完全冇温過，咁就直接去考啦。咁你都會見到我咧都有少少 mistake 出現咗嘅。咁尤其是係一啲讀錯咗嘅嘢啦嚇，可能話 pronounce 錯咗啦，或者係有少少 hesitation 咧，其實我都會有嘅。咁另外就我有一條嘅 retoucher 咧，其實佢都我用咗少少，頭先有一兩句唔記得咗啦，或者係太緊張啦，好耐都冇做過，咁就換咗一個describe image 嘅 template 嘅。咁我哋睇一睇咧，即管我哋其他嘢 skip 晒佢，即管睇下咧，我最後嗰個 speaking 嘅分數咧會去到幾多？咁另外一樣嘢都可以提一提大家咧，如果話係作答嗰陣時，你會見到無論係 repeat sentence 啦，或者 answer short question 啊，其他嘢啦，咁其實我都會傾向咧，佢係一個 prepare 嘅時間，或者佢播完之後咧，我都會有一個大概1秒鐘嘅停頓啦，起碼我先至會開始作答嘅。咁呢樣嘢點解會咁做咧？因為我會盡量想避免咧，佢個咪未開嘅，即係有時候佢播完嗰個問題，或者係佢俾個 rehearsal 嘅時間完咗之後，其實佢可能要等半秒到嗰個咪先至着咧，咁我就呢一度等一等先至去作答啦，咁就費事佢咧讀唔到我頭嗰幾個字咁樣嘅。咁我哋呢度啊，咁就全部撳晒佢，咁我哋就睇下個答案嚇，最後嗰個 result 究竟係點樣樣啦？轉頭翻嚟睇下。 咁好老實講咧，今次個表現咧，其實我覺得麻麻地嘅，因為始終突然間過去就埋位就做啦。咁之前其實真係完全乜嘢 practice 都冇做過，咁就今朝早好忙一啲私人嘢，咁其實已經就即刻埋位去做啦。咁同埋頭先食螺絲，其實好老實講都幾多下嘅。咁我哋睇一睇嗰個分數啦。咁都可以做到過79下，咁呢樣嘢都幾令人鼓舞嘅，因為你會見到啦Fluency 嗰度83，你會聽得到咧。其實頭先我嘅速度唔會話講得特別好快好快，但係你會見到我嗰個停頓位咧，其實反而應該要有嘅位啦，我會停頓翻，尤其是啲標點符號啦，或者係啲斷嘅位啦，我會做得比較足嘅。咁反而呢一樣嘢咧，你會見到個 fluency 係 throughout 成個 speaking session 咧，所有嘅題型咧，其實我都會比較穩定咁樣維持一個一定嘅速度啦，無論係 repeat sentence 又好啦，或者 DR 又好啦，或者係RA 又好啦，個速度其實都會係相等嘅。咁呢一樣嘢都會有助到個 fluency。另外就係個 pronunciation，你會見到話其實都幾唔見得人下得55。咁尤其是一開始啦，又緊張啦，同埋今日都有少少真係食地螺絲，咁所以出到嚟個 pronunciation 唔係太好啦。咁但係亦都調翻轉嚟講啦，因為我而家用嗰個 template 啦，係呢個 retailer 啦，同埋係呢一個 describe image 啦，其實都攞嗰個 content 分攞得好高嘅。咁所以你會見到哇，其實咧 pronunciation 得55咧，對於我個 speaking 咧，其實冇乜大影響。Even 我哋可以睇到咧係 listening 同埋 reading 咧，其實兩個都過30。過30即係咩意思咧？即係話我嘅 listening 同埋呢個 reading 咧，相對應嘅 content 分咧，其實係差唔多係攞晒咁滯嘅。咁今次咧示範咧就去到呢一度啦。咁下次就有機會再見啦。如果話對於 PTE 咧有啲乜嘢問題，或者係下一次有啲乜嘢想我 cover 嘅話咧，都歡迎你留言話俾我知。最後最緊要咧就係 comment 啦、like 啦、share 啦，同埋 follow 埋咧我嗰個 Facebook page 嘅。下面咧我個 description 嗰度有晒呢啲連結噶啦。咁下次再見，拜拜。